And we're back.
Hello, everybody.
43 of The Horror Guys. I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin.
And we got something a little different for you this week.
Did you do anything yesterday?
We went to the Flint...
It's hard to say.
Flint Fright Film Fest.
And say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, we've been to this thing for like 3 years in a row. You'd think we'd get the name down soon.
Flint Fright Film Fest.
Yeah, and we saw 41 different shorts there.
Mm-hmm.
Short films, all horror. Some were good, some were not so good.
What a deal.
And this special edition, we're going to talk about all of them.
Briefly.
Obviously, with 42 of them, we're not going to stay here all day. So we're going to go through all of them, thumbs up, thumbs down, and we're going to talk about the ones we liked or hated the most.
At least briefly, yeah. What did you think of the festival itself?
I liked it.
Yeah, it's really well run.
This is the first time we've actually stayed for the entire thing. We usually leave before the awards at the end, but this time they decided not to put a break in there, and they kind of squished it all together. I thought that worked out a lot better.
They are able to hold it at an auditorium at Mott Community College. Nice auditorium with a nice back screen, big screen. And
the screen could be bigger.
Could be bigger.
But yeah, it's fine.
But it's a
it beats watching it on
auditorium.
YouTube.
Oh, for sure, yeah. The only criticism I would have that I wish they would fix, some better food. There's probably vending machines in the building somewhere, and they have snacks of some kind every year they have. This year they had cookies and donuts and cider. But that's not
it's
really...
a lot of sugar for some of us.
And it's 7.5 hours long. And that's they need some food or, order in or something.
We survive by tailgating,
and they have,
basically.
Yeah, you bring your own snacks, and you're warned if you go next year, probably bring your own snacks, a sandwich or something. You can't eat in the auditorium, but there are breaks.
I did see toward the end, a lot of the vendors outside had the pizza delivered.
Yeah, the vendors were mostly hanging out in the hall the whole time.
And this is only a 7.5 hour show. Imagine what it's like one of those 24-hour marathons.
Well, they'd have
they'd
have to have some food or something then. Yeah. People would be dropping.
Okay, so we're going to go through all these. We should probably quit babbling and get on with our... Here we go.
And you may have to bear with me. I took notes, but it's a dark auditorium, and I didn't want to have a lot of illumination. I barely allowed a little bit of light from my phone sometimes.
He's over here with his phone.
I didn't want to disturb other people.
So you can find the lines on the paper.
Well, it wasn't even the flashlight. It was just the glow of the screen. So
I put down a one-line note at the end of each block.
But then I kept writing in complete darkness for some of the lines, too, and it shows.
I used to teach college English class, and I got worse looking papers
but
than that.
For 41 of them, we really needed notes to remember which one was which. And
I'm still having trouble with a few of them.
Yeah. So anyway, what
was
first?
So first up, we watched one called Rebuild. And the official description of Rebuild, I'm looking at the program here, is a couple try to survive the last day of the apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse.
It's a guy and a girl out doing zombie thing, killing zombies out in a warehouse in a field, and he gets his foot caught in a bear trap, and she gets bit by a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly all the zombies are dead, and she's thinking like, it's a cure.
It's not a cure.
It's not a cure.
It's a ninja.
What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was very good, too.
It left me wanting more in a good way.
Well, the ninja or the super killer there at the end was going after the living guy, and she was the one that was infected, which didn't make any sense to me.
Well, maybe she wasn't really going after him. We don't know.
That way.
Well, it kind of looked that way, but we don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
it was good. Top notch.
Rebuild.
The fight combat choreography, the special effects, everything. Yeah.
It was
big thumbs up.
Not a lot of story there, but it was good.
Yeah. 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Rebuild. Next up, 14 minutes long, is The Coffin. And The Coffin is a horror/comedy short about a couple who pick up a vintage coffin and then some. The film is loosely based upon the director's own experience acquiring a vintage prop from an old haunt.
Thumbs up from me.
I thought this was one of the best ones of the day.
Lots of dark humor. Yeah, really well done. Yeah.
Of course, the coffin is haunted.
Spoiler. Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not spoil it. The really good ones we won't spoil. The really stinker ones we probably have to. But okay, it's haunted. It's good. It's one of the best. Mm-hmm. Moving on.
Yeah, they started strong with a couple of really good ones.
Yeah.
And then the third one was
Mommy's Little Helper for 12 minutes. Now, immediately I recognized the little kid in this from Between the Darkness, Come Said the Night that we saw a couple of weeks back. Mm-hmm.
Tate Birchmore.
The little boy with long hair.
Talented little actor. He's really good.
Kept mistaking him from the little girl from Hereditary for a long time.
There is a really strong resemblance. Yeah.
Kid needs a haircut.
Yeah, nobody would blame us for mistaking the two of them.
So what you got to say about this one? I saw your notes.
It's not horror like in the sense that there's really horror. It's kind of the distortion of a child seeing real world events as horror, being horrified, being...
The mother and the father had a nasty breakup. The father is a bit of a monster, not officially, but
not
a
a literal
guy.
monster, but yeah, monstrous.
This is family abuse horror. We'll call it that.
Yeah,
yeah. There's no real monsters.
That's what I put, domestic abuse horror. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that didn't make it bad, but it didn't seem as horror. Almost seemed more like a thriller.
It was all right. Yeah. Meh.
Yeah.
Speaking of meh, next up we have 15-minute long The Baby Farmer.
Yeah. That made me go, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A mother and son on the run escape to an isolated mountain cabin where their fears catch up with them. And that was nothing.
That was the hunting one. That was Mama's Little Monster.
Oh, yeah. The Lonely... They don't have this one in here. The Baby Farmer's not listed in the... Okay, well,
Whoops,
anyway.
Okay.
There's this...
Probably because they didn't know what to put for a synopsis.
Two women... One is sort of 1940s looking, one is just a generic farm girl type, and she's carrying a basket with a baby in it. And the baby turns out to be this long maggot slug that I think drinks her blood.
Yeah,
and the 1940 woman's sort of like a vampire,
not breastfeeding
but not.
But feeding it from her arm. Yeah.
And there's this weird old woman in a carriage who is said to be the baby farmer that will take your baby away. And the vampire wants the other woman to give up her baby, which isn't really a baby, it's some kind of stupid monster. And this thing just made no damn sense.
The closest I could figure out was it was the nightmare distorted worldview of a mother who's kind of nuts and is killing or has killed her baby.
You could go that route, yeah.
That's the closest I could come to.
She killed her baby in real life, and now she's kind of justifying it with all this weirdness.
Yeah.
But that's a stretch, and that's a guess. Yeah, I didn't
like
this
very surreal, and didn't care for it.
The Lonely Road. Phoebe Jones is a paranormal investigator. On the eve of moving to a new town, she visits her cousin, Leanne Summerfield. Leanne is a psychic and a sensitive and has grave fears that Phoebe is heading into trouble. Will Phoebe take her advice, or will things that Phoebe has been hunting come looking for her? That really covers it.
Yeah.
One woman's a psychic and she says, don't go, it's a bad thing. And the other woman, I gotta go, I'm gonna go. And she gets in her car and she sees ghosts.
They were good actresses. It was well made, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I just said, she goes on a trip, she sees some ghosts. The end.
It didn't do a lot for me.
No, 12 minutes. And that was the end of the break. That was the first 5 films. And at that point, they mostly started pretty good.
They had 10-minute breaks in between. And for this one, they had belly dancers, a local belly dancing troupe.
And I went into this figuring the belly dancers were going to kill it. It'd take them forever to get on the stage and off the stage and set up. But no, it was no problem.
It added to it. Yeah, it was quick. And they were on and off and quick.
It was far better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were very good.
Okay, so this one here, I'm going to say the real stinker is the Baby Farmer, and the really good one was the Coffin.
Of that set.
And the others were decent enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Block 2, In Her Shoes, 5 minutes long. 7-year-old June Kaufman is enchanted by a pair of red children's shoes in a cemetery. The shoes lead her to a crypt where she faces her worst fears.
Shoes have never been so chilling. I thought it was kind of chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I thought the little girl did fine, too.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I thought it was really well done. Not a lot of story.
It didn't end
short
well for her.
Yeah.
Or did it?
Well, we don't know.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, kind of open-ended. Yeah. Very weird ending, and for 5 minutes, I thought that was a... I thought that was a win. Yeah.
11-minute long is Fresh. Eat fresh.
Yeah.
After accidentally doing a ritual, Emily, a philosophy student, has to face the biggest moral dilemma of all. Kill or be killed. Never go in the attic, read the Latin, and put on the pendant in the same day.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
Yeah.
What'd you think of this one?
I liked it.
I like this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought it was really well done. Liked the ending. You knew what was going to happen next. You didn't actually see it happening.
They didn't spend any money for gore, but you knew it was coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice.
Apollyon, 8 minutes long. A sickly janitor at a historic church discovers a portal for newly departed souls to enter the next life. But these lost spirits are not leaving this world empty-handed.
And that kind of sums that up. Yeah.
I didn't understand what was going on until I just read that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what was happening. Yeah.
The Gateway.
This one kept reminding me of something by Clive Barker.
Yes.
the
creepy
the
churches
portal,
and weird portals.
and the
that
weird
do that.
portal and tentacle creatured and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one. It was good.
Yeah.
The X, 19 minutes long.
Are we going too fast through these? Nah.
Yeah, we can focus on the really good ones.
Yeah.
Or the really bad ones, whichever.
And we'll have links to as many as we can find online.
Yeah.
Some of them are just not online at all yet.
I looked for a lot of these last week
be.
and had trouble with them. I didn't try for all, but we'll put links to the ones that we can.
Yeah, as many as we can.
Yeah.
Some have websites and, but yeah, we'll do our best so you can watch them yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The X. Ordinary bloke Dave's plans for a weekend working overtime are ruined when his ex-girlfriend Lori appears suddenly at his office and announces herself as the new temp. That's pretty horrifying in itself.
A weekend from hell when your ex-girlfriend walks in and says, "Hi, we'll be spending the weekend together."
As Lori's behavior grows ever more inappropriate and bizarre in her attempt to win her ex back, it becomes clear that something very wrong is afoot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to read further than that.
But we're not going to tell you what's wrong. But yeah, it's very wrong. And that was really well.
This is 19 minutes long, and I was bored to death for the first 15 minutes. But overall, I thought it ended well, and I would have to give it a thumbs up at the end.
I give it a thumbs up all through. I wasn't bored. I was wondering where it was going to go.
It was sort of comedy, but it was kind of fallen flat comedy until the end, I thought.
I don't think it was really meant to be that funny. Kind of a grim kind of.
I think the whole thing about the ex coming to work with you is it's meant to be funny. The way she pulls out. Nobody is that obnoxious in real life. It was put on. It was a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing.
Oh, but it made you think, is she insane?
Well,
Just
you are supposed to think that.
Outright crazy. Yeah. So I don't think it was over the top. Yeah.
Okay, next up we have one that's called 20 Seconds, and it's got a runtime of 1 minute. There's a guy who talks about how long you live when your head's cut off. Mm-hmm. And then, 20 seconds later, the credits roll.
And that's what it's about.
What more is there to say? It's 20 seconds long.
Yeah, it's literally 20 seconds of horror. But, yeah.
Yeah, that whole description has got nothing to do with nothing.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Brings us to the last one of this group is Jason Z, 9 minutes long. 2 camp counselors at Crystal Lake escaping from the camp's killings as Jason is lurking among them. Jason is unaware that he too is being lurked upon.
And this was interesting. It's a fan fiction film with its, that's how they got around the royalties. And it says distribution is free because they can't make money from it.
This isn't some look-alike clone in a hockey mask. This is Jason.
Yeah, it is Jason.
It looks like Jason, and it's really, really well done.
Yeah, it is.
And this is my best one of this block. I like this one a lot.
I liked it a lot too. Yeah. Yeah.
And there should be more stories set in this setting without giving anything away.
Yeah.
It was a really good idea what they did here.
Yeah. If you're a fan of the Friday the 13th movies, that's one to try to find.
You saw Jason in camp. You saw Jason in the city. You've even seen Jason in space. You haven't seen Jason in this
like
situation.
This. Yeah. And that's all we're saying.
Yeah, it was good. I like that one. Okay, so the best one of that group, in my opinion, is Jason Z, and the worst one is probably the 20 seconds.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Block 3. Oh, they made one of you. Kevin Deere.
Which automatically makes it a very good one, just by the name.
Kevin Deere, 5 minutes long. And, the big long description here in the program is, he's changed. 2 parents are not happy with their child. Yeah, I didn't like this one. I thought it was kind of rushed and the acting was not real good. I didn't like it.
It was a little on the weak side acting-wise. Yeah. It was okay.
Yeah. Lifematch. 31 minutes. I think this was probably the longest one of the day.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was the least horror-y, if that's a word.
Horror-y.
Last horror-y. It seemed like a science fiction thriller.
Oh, there was one more that I thought was more science fiction-y than this even.
Yes, there was. Kind of a Dark Mirror vibe, if you're a fan of that series, Black Mirror.
Yeah, this was definitely a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, but as far as the horror was pretty low-key. But it's a technological horror of,
In a city.
Like Black Mirror,
Yeah.
Science Gone Wrong. You know.
In a city where everyone is guaranteed a soulmate, Verena's younger sister goes missing. In order to find her, Verena must uncover the truth behind the Lifematch system and what that means for her relationship with her own soulmate.
Yeah, they've got this social
It's a
experiment
city
built
where
up.
everybody gets this little Logan's Run kind of thing
on the
that
back
blinks
of their
when you
hand.
meet your soulmate.
Yeah, it starts blinking, and then when you're close to them, it lights up, and that's why you know your match.
The problem is you have to get one of these.
Yeah, it turns out that it's kind of mandatory. So, and then it starts getting more sinister from there.
Yeah, 31 minutes almost doesn't qualify as a short, I don't think. But
is it really happiness if it's mandatory? Are you really happy, or are you being forced to be happy?
Celebrate
and is that
and
wrong?
make merry.
Is that wrong? I mean,
death.
There's no crime, there's no violence, everybody's happy. Is that wrong? Well, we'll let you decide when you see it yourself. Yeah. Anyway, big thumbs up. It was really well made. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
It's still not the best one in the segment, though, but it's really good.
Yeah, there's another coming that was better. Yeah.
There's Nothing in the Shed, 2 minutes long. And the description here is you had your chance to be you. Woman goes out in the middle of the night and sees this bloody, naked thing in her shed.
It's simple, it's quick, it's brutal, it's gory.
It's good.
And in fact, there is nothing in the shed. It was right. The title is correct.
Depends on how you want to look at it.
That's how I took it. Yeah.
Okay, I like that one.
That's right. Yeah.
It was really, of the really super short ones, I think this may have been the best one.
Mm-hmm.
When you get down to a minute or two, you don't get a lot of story.
There's only so much you can do in a minute.
Yeah.
Next
up is one called Karma, 13 minutes long. And I'm not going to tell you the story on this one. There's one character. It's a hunter. He goes to this land where there's water, earth, fire, and air.
Well, it's big, too. It's a big empty where they filmed it, and really impressive.
The impressive thing here is the cinematography and the landscapes.
Yeah, gorgeous.
A lot of drone shots, a lot of really high-res, wide photography. It looks great. Zero story. Well, what story you can kind of piece together isn't much of a story.
You do have to piece it together. They don't work very hard at getting the story across, I don't think.
Again, only barely horror.
Well,
a thing happens that is not good, but it's not
pretty
really
horrifying.
It was
pretty horrifying.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's beautiful. Sounded nice. Really gorgeous soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to this one for a story, but it's fun to watch. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And last up of the group is We've Got a Monkey's Paw, 9 minutes.
And this one won Best of Show.
It
actually.
did.
Yeah.
Zach and Jackie are typical odd couple roommates. Jackie likes staying in, reading a good book now and then, while Zach has other hobbies like waking the dead. Things get hairy when Zach convinces Jackie to spend the day making wishes on a monkey's paw. Soon, the two find themselves doing backflips, trying to undo the cataclysmic series of events that they've set off. Ghost brides, demon boxes, dead bears. Oh my! This pair is definitely in the wrong. This paw is definitely in the wrong hands.
Yeah, that's something, and it just gets worse and worse. They keep making.
And of course, the rules with a monkey's paw. If you've
you
ever
each
read
get 3 wishes.
You should read the story. It's very short and very good.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, if you got a monkey's paw, you get 3 wishes, but they're almost always guaranteed to come back and bite you in the end.
Yeah, you're careful, but it's twisted as the paw.
But you can wish for anything.
Yeah,
and
they each get 3 wishes each, and yeah. Even just saying I hope something happens is enough to trigger it. So that's awkward. Watch how you phrase things when you're holding that sucker.
Okay, so this segment
it was zany and funny and witty and just really well acted.
It won the Best of Show.
Good special effects.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Okay, so the best one this time was easily the monkey's paw. We got a monkey's paw.
We got a monkey's paw. Yeah, we got a monkey's paw.
And I also very much like Lifematch.
Mm-hmm.
The worst of the bunch was Kevin Deere, I thought, of this group.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, the bottom.
3 blocks down.
Mm-hmm.
And already we've talked about like 20 movies.
And I don't think, and I want to say too that we're saying this is the least and we didn't like this one as well.
They're all decent.
They're all commendable because these people put a lot of work into this stuff.
Yeah.
None of them are awful. I mean, the Film Fest people
they've weeded out
credited
garbage.
That because they received a huge number of submissions from what they said. and they weeded out the best. So so that's what we see is the best here.
Yeah, we've got the best and the worst of the show. Even the
ones
worst
that made
are
it
probably worth watching.
It's like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Yeah. No such thing as bad pizza.
There's really excellent pizza, though, sometimes.
That's a conversation for after the show. There's no such thing as bad pizza. Okay, so we're up to block 4 now. The show is about halfway over. At this point, I'm getting hungry. Went out to the car and had a snack from the cooler. They
bought a couple books
really
from
nice
the vendors.
Donuts. Oh yeah, they had they also had a bunch of vendors out there, mostly
local authors,
local
artist, a metal artist. She does her own jewelry, metalwork stuff.
Somebody there had glassware, which was weird. I asked, was it haunted glassware, and it wasn't. So.
She missed an opportunity.
There's always one.
She should have said yes. Yeah.
But there was one guy there we ended up buying like 4 or 5 books from.
Well, the two of them. They were side by side. Yeah.
I didn't write his name down. I didn't bring the books with us to the studio.
How embarrassing.
There was a guy who was really good there.
Some guy
who recommended him strongly.
Well, when we read the books, we'll be mentioning them on the website and the podcast for sure.
And when we were there, we met another group of podcasters from the Jeff and Axe Horror Show, and Axe is AKS.
Another local.
And I've listened to their show, and it's pretty good. Jeff and AKS Axe Horror Show. Give them a listen. You find them in the same place you find this podcast, and
there was a couple guys setting up that had button maker, making custom buttons or horror buttons. They had all kinds of stuff ready to go, and one guy had it was like a mini comic store. He had boxes of comics and all kinds of collectibles of horror stuff, posters.
Yeah, it was not what you call a really big show, but what was there was all good quality.
Well, maybe 12 vendors.
That might be pushing it even.
About 10?
Yeah.
10, 12, yeah. But all
maybe 10 or 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Didn't you could see the whole thing. There was no doubt about seeing it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so after we went shopping and met the authors and the podcasters and stuff, we went back in and saw block 4.
Here.
Here. 6 minutes long, a one-shot horror film about finding your voice.
I thought it was really creepy and really good.
I have to look at my other page of notes. I'm not remembering this.
Oh, this was the gal talking to her father upstairs.
Oh, yeah. She comes home and Dad's upstairs. Come on up. I need to see you.
Yeah,
Come on up. I need to see you.
And she's making herself some food.
And then she gets a call from Dad. That's not him.
Yeah. And then it gets worse from there.
Yeah. That's not the end of it. Yeah. Okay, I did like this. And it's just starting to run together a little bit.
Yeah, that's the problem with 41 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Which after the video for Here, we watched Knock Knock, 4 minutes.
Nothing worse than somebody knocking when you're trying to sleep, especially when it's coming from the closet.
Comes from the door, then she figures out it's coming from the closet, then it's all around the room, and then we see what it is right there at the end. The very last shot sort of gives you a hint. I liked it. It was short, it was simple, but nobody likes knocks in the dark.
No.
Which takes us to a 12-minute long Labor Day 7. And this is, what do we got here? A career chronicle of horror icon Maddox Mason, the masked murderer who kills people who wear white after Labor Day. And we're not wearing white, so we're probably good.
And it's a crossover where it's been like a series of movies, the Labor Day movies.
Well, the whole thing is framed in like an unsolved mysteries. He comes out in his trench coat.
Unsolved mysteries, and then he's interviewing the guy who's been away from the business for a while and telling why he's been away from the business.
And it's how his first 2 movies were a big hit, and the next 2 movies were big flops.
It's not really just an actor. He wears the mask all the time in real life.
They interview his mother, who said, "You need to really see how ugly that kid is."
Yeah, and he was married to one of the Scream Queen co-stars for a while, and that went south.
Yeah. It's a typical biography interview show with this guy who isn't your typical interview person.
It'd be like, interviewing, Michael Myers doesn't talk.
He's not starring in films. His are supposed to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to see it. It's good. It's worthwhile.
Yeah, that's Labor Day 7.
Labor Day 7, because it's the 7th movie of the series is coming out. This is all promotional for the 7th movie, supposedly.
He's getting back in the business.
Yeah.
Back in the saddle.
And that takes us up to The Garden, 5 minutes long. Strange blossoms, sunken pathways, deja vus. A hike through H.P. Lovecraft's most personal garden. This was basically, it was a poem. And I'm not going to say it was a slideshow because there's movement. But they're just sort of scenery shots as the guy reads H.P. Lovecraft's poem. Non-exciting side without being too bad. Compared to the others, it was somewhat boring.
There wasn't any action.
Yeah, it was a guy reading a poem in the background while we saw nature shots. It was good if you liked the poem. It was good, but
swamp and a rundown cemetery. Yeah. Probably my least favorite of the block.
Nope, I got one that beats it.
Oh, you have a less favorite than that?
I have a much less favorite.
Oh, okay.
Which takes us to our next one, is The Day with the Least Sunlight, 7 minutes long. Halloween spirits linger through the most wonderful time of the year, and Andy is the gatekeeper. So it's late, maybe November, early December. It's time to put away the Halloween decorations.
And
pull out the Christmas stuff.
She reluctantly does. And
nobody likes putting away the Halloween decorations.
No.
That means Halloween is over.
Yeah.
On the bright side, that means Christmas is starting.
And you can have some crossover if there's demonic forces at work.
It's all in how you look at things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one.
I did too.
The special effects there weren't any.
Kind of basic. Yeah.
It was,
I mean, they use high quality, like horror haunted house stuff. Dummies and light up creatures and things. Just standard, like off the shelf, high end. But as far as special effects, that was really
if you got good Halloween decorations, that's all it took with this one.
Yeah.
But the story was good.
Yeah, I thought so.
The plot was good. The ending was good.
Yeah.
Next up is a short one called Wither, 4 minutes long. In a town acclaimed for honoring ancient folklore, a young girl finds herself vulnerable to a sinister mythological farmer after failing to contribute to the annual tradition. All the kids bring this little, what was that thing? Flower?
Berries, I think.
A little handful of berries to class. One little boy brings them out. One little girl brings out the berries.
Did you notice that when she was sitting there, that first little boy that plopped down sat on her backpack? And she kind of gave him a look and yanked the backpack out from under her.
Yeah. And the last little girl pulls out her berries, and they're crushed.
And the teacher is horrified. And then she's like, no, it'll probably be okay. There's probably enough here.
It wasn't okay.
Yeah. But I thought it was neat. And then the teacher leads the class in a song, which plays in the background as the story continues. And it's almost like telling and showing at the same time. Because the song
is about
what's happening and why it's happening, and while the little girl is continuing home after that day.
4 minutes long. I thought it was a really good one
for 4 minutes. Yeah,
it had a beginning, middle, end story, and it was good even for 4 minutes.
Yeah, good effects. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. Which takes us to Paralysis, 7 minutes long. Shin is caught between dreams and reality. She tries to cope with everyday responsibilities, not being sure if what she sees is real or not.
Groot's evil twin. That's what the creature reminded me of.
Yeah.
If Groot was monstrous.
Yeah.
And black and evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the creature reminded me of.
Yeah. It's basically not night terrors, sleep paralysis is the point of this one.
Yeah, I believe so.
And there, believe it or not, there are 2 different sleep paralysis stories in these ones we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And sleep paralysis is something we probably all have done, and it is very scary. Not so much so to watch in a movie, though.
Yeah. This was pretty good, though.
It's all right. It was decently well done.
Yeah. Good effects, good creature. Yeah.
Which takes us to Death and the Maiden, 8 minutes long.
Oh, this is going to be your worst one.
This documentary examines the historical influences that contributed to Death and the Maiden images from early Renaissance art, and how this motif manifests in contemporary Western culture. This documentary includes clips from the cult horror films Slaughterhouse, 1987, Madman, 1981, and Laid to Rest, 2009. And I'll tell you, this was like, we were at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon after watching 4 hours of these things at this point, and I literally went to sleep on this one.
I didn't go to sleep. I thought it was interesting because I'd never thought of...
You don't put a short documentary in the middle of a horror film
but it was interesting.
End of a block at dinner time.
It had animations, and they animated some of the classic paintings, and... the classic Death and the Maiden, where a beautiful woman is being threatened by a skeletal figure, which has recurred throughout many art. It was a heavily European the black bubonic plague inspired, and it went through the history of it, and I never thought of it as tying in as being a kind of a source and inspiration for these 70s and 80s slasher films where there's the survivor girl fighting death.
So you're saying I need to watch this someday
I don't
when
know.
I'm actually awake?
I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I missed this one.
Yeah.
And then the next one is called Until the Wheels Fall Off, 9 minutes long. And the description says, a tranquil park within the zombie apocalypse finds a withering zombie who can't catch a meal until an undead angel comes to his rescue. And I'll tell you what, I went to sleep on the previous movie, and this was really quiet, and I didn't wake up until the break. So I missed this one, too.
And that makes me sad because it was really good. It really was. It kind of, from the zombie point of view. It's a well-established zombie apocalypse is going on, or, there's still some survivors. And this is the story of two zombies and what's going on for them. And yeah,
I will try to catch this one when I look for links for the show.
And just gross out, gory effects. Yeah, the effects were, yeah. But yeah, I give this one a really strong thumbs up. I thought it was good and kind of different. And then kind of sweet and romantic.
And then we had a break where we went out to the car and I had some caffeine.
Yes, and then he was awake again.
Yes. So of this group, I'm going to say that my best one was, from my ratings here, is Slaver Day. And the worst one, I went with Death and the Maiden because, put me to sleep. I mean, you can't get much lower than that, even though it may have been really fine.
I'd go with The Garden, the poem.
The poem one was as your worst?
Yeah.
What about best?
Oh, the Slaver Day 7. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Wither was really good
best.
also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
That's the thing. It's hard to pick a best in some of these groups.
Yeah, because there's 2 or 3 really good ones in some of these blocks.
Yeah.
Okay. Break's over. All caffeinated and awake. Time to come back and watch some stuff.
Block 5.
Block 5 starts with Horoscope. An ordinary schoolgirl's life unravels after an evil creature takes over her body. Only her mother, with the help of a strange doctor, will be able to save her. I really liked this one.
She's suffering from HMT, horror movie traileritis.
And it shows all these things that are going to happen to her, and it's all done in the style of a horror movie trailer.
Uh-huh. All the tropes
with the
from
sound
horror movie
effects
trailers.
And the fading in and the fading out.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, really
original.
well done. Yeah, and funny. Yeah, darkly funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend this one.
Yes.
Escape, 5 minutes long. And this is that other sci-fi one I mentioned.
I think this one seemed even less horror than that other science fiction one.
Yeah, there was literally nothing horror in this one.
Yeah.
In a future controlled by technology, one person searches for an escape. Escape explores issues of personal choice, control, and the relationship between people and the technologies that impact our lives. And from the cadence of the narrator to what went on in the thing, it felt like it was going to be a drug commercial for anti-technology.
I kept waiting for the product to be shown. It
really felt like
me
a commercial.
Of a commercial where I didn't know what they were advertising. You know how that happens sometimes?
Mm-hmm. The entire thing was done in Blade Runner style. She walks through the town, you got the Asian things hanging down, and the guys working in their machines
smoky
and
smoggy and lots of neon everywhere.
Very clear, not just inspired, but ripped off from Blade Runner.
Mm.
But there was zero plot, there was zero dialogue, and the whole thing felt like a drug commercial.
It was a voiceover narration.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad. I wouldn't call it bad.
It was just
weird
it was and out of place
fascinating to watch.
Yeah, it was.
But I kept expecting the horror, and not any. What are they advertising again?
Yeah, it was really well done for whatever it was.
Yeah, the idea of identity, and apparently, people were wearing like a holographic kind of mask where you could literally appear to everyone else as someone else. That was one of the things she was talking about. Yeah, okay. Identity, and then how the world sees you and how you see the world, and that's kind of how it ended too.
There was definitely some VR augmented reality stuff there where, when they turn it all off, things were much nicer than they appeared, and
But it was kind of up to you, literally up to you, how you want to see the world and how you want to be seen.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of up to you how you take this movie too.
Yeah.
From how long we're talking about it must have been better than I remember it.
Well, it stuck with us, apparently.
Yeah. It looked like they put a lot of effort into making it, too. Yes. A lot of, I guess special effects is the right word. Yeah. Very futuristic.
CGI. Yeah.
See it yourself. Escape, 5 minutes long, and judge for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is the second longest of the day, is La Llorona, 23 minutes.
And this got the award for the best writing.
Yeah.
The Bradbury Award.
After a harsh breakup, Pranay decides to ease the pain with alcohol. Little does he know, his life is about to change when he encounters a young undead bride looking for revenge. La Llorona is the crying widow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those long... Mexican?
No, Indian. It was Indian. It was in India.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Okay, Indian legends.
That's strange too, because at first I thought it was in Mexico.
Yeah, but you're wearing a sari, and he's clearly Indian.
You do quickly realize, but something about it. Well, the director was Puerto Rican. Maybe some of his Latin heritage and views rubbed off on it initially, but it quickly realized, it's in India. It's not.
Well, you see La Llorona walking down the street. There's this guy on the side of the road, and she kills and eats him. Boom.
Oh, it's not that simple.
It's not that simple.
It's very funny. It's very darkly funny.
The whole thing is very darkly funny.
Yeah, very.
And she kills him and eats him.
And it's very witty. And
meanwhile,
very
you see Parnay over at the bar begging for more booze, and the barkeeper
the bars are wanting to
up.
close. Yeah, he's drinking them closed.
He's very drunk and very unhappy because his girlfriend's been cheating on him.
Yeah.
And the two of them come together and have a long conversation, which is kind of unusual.
Weird, yeah.
She wants to eat him, and he doesn't really care that much.
And he's trying to persuade her to, you got to stop killing. You're ruining the local economy. Look, all these businesses are closed. People are afraid to go out at night.
Yeah. So what did you think overall?
Oh, well, you definitely win.
Yeah.
I
I think this one and The Monkey's Paw were both probably equally tied for best of the show, I thought. I like this one a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is either number one
of my
or
favorites.
number two overall.
Up in my favorites for sure.
And it's subtitled. That's a point against it in your book, right?
No, it was okay. And they switched to English sometimes. They still had the subtitles
which is
going.
Odd. You think that's the way it is in India?
I think so.
Well, they all know English, so they could do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have one called Save 2.0, 7 minutes long. Night falls. A dog's howl breaks the night, is the description, which has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
The guy, you've seen the videos on YouTube where the guy holds the blanket up in front of the dog, says, "I'm going to disappear. 1, 2, 3," and boom, and the sheet falls and the dog gets
runs
confused.
through a doorway, and the dog has no reaction whatsoever
the dog
when he
don't
does
care.
that. But I thought this was the one that gave me the most goosebumps.
Okay.
The most.
It's kind of not clear what
quote,
really
quote,
happened,
scares,
but it was good.
Was off. Yeah. It's short and creepy and goosebumpy.
Right.
I thought it was goosebumpy.
Moving on. Lock the Door, 10 minutes long. A military member struggles with fear and paranoia as a result of PTSD or an external tormentor in this eerie psychological short, made by military officers on a historic military base, which I did not realize.
I didn't realize that.
So in the beginning, the soldier's coming home from somewhere, and he's home in
he's jumpy.
America or somewhere
it's clear,
civilized.
It's clear he's been
safe.
somewhere rough, and he's safe now, but he's jumpy and
very PTSD, definitely.
Yeah, but your fears aren't real until they are.
Yes.
Yeah, a good one.
It was all right. I wasn't blown away with this one.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of people.
Good acting.
There's an awful lot of these where it's just somebody coming into the bedroom at night.
It
seemed to be a very common trope with this batch.
Yeah. There were a lot,
which is fine, but it got old.
Not scary enough after a while.
After a while, you get
yeah.
The Projector, 4 minutes long.
A cartoon.
Yeah, only 2 of them, I think, were animated.
Yeah.
While attempting to clean out her family's attic, Susan discovers a box full of photo slides. Putting them into the old projector and flipping through them, she takes a trip down memory lane. That is, until something appears in the photos that shouldn't be there. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stop reading this now.
Yeah. No more
it was good.
In that. Mm-hmm.
It was all right.
Yeah. Animated, so you can do whatever you want as far as special effects. There's no limit. Yeah.
Next up is The Knocknitsa, 7 minutes long.
And this won the best makeup and the scariest by the judges. Yeah. Is what they awarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. The makeup maybe, but the scariest wasn't the scariest for me.
No, I just wonder if they knew the director or something, or why they gave this one the award. This was in no way. It was not bad, but it was well down the list for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same me.
The Knocknitsa. Jack returns home to find his girlfriend wounded at home. She's traumatized by her terrifying experience of sleep paralysis. And again, it's sleep paralysis. She went to bed, and there's this thing that creeps and crawls around the bed, and something comes into the night again. And it's not the one that looks like Groot, but it's the other one with big long teeth. And yeah, it was okay.
But there were also hints that it wasn't just sleep paralysis, too.
No. At the end, he's carrying her out, and he hears it too.
Or does he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's still basically themed on sleep paralysis.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I had enough sleep paralysis from these episodes. There's just too many of them.
Block 6 and 7.
Okay, but first,
combined.
of Block 5, I'd say the best one was La Llorona, followed closely by Horoscope. I really like the one with the movie trailers.
Yep.
And I like Lock the Door the least. You got a different loser?
I'd say the Projector, because I have a bias against cartoons.
He does. Yeah. Okay, Block 6. And they announced at this point they're not going to have a break between Block 6 and 7. They ran them all together, which
I'm glad
we are
they
very
did,
thankful
because
for.
Block 7 is only 2 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 movies in the awards, and
we
had already made plans to skip out after Block 6.
We were thinking about it, yeah.
But we didn't.
Yeah.
Block 6 starts out with Paranoia, 5 minutes long. Another animated one.
Yep, cartoon.
Paranoia is
I thought this was a better cartoon.
Paranoia is a surreal and psychological horror animation following a woman in her descent into madness as she discovers she is being secretly watched in her home. She moves a thing on the shelf and finds a camera behind it.
And the camera looks like an eye, and she pulls the eye out, and it's attached to blood vessels, and then the hole starts to bleed, and then she sees other holes, and they start to bleed, and then she finds them in her arm, and it gets out of control from there.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Again, notice how many of these have no dialogue at all, so they could be like internationally released.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of these have no talking, no discussion.
This one didn't.
Yeah.
Silent. Well, not
these
silent.
things happen, and you interpret it for
effects.
yourself.
Yeah.
Which takes us to The Last Well, which starts off with a commercial, believe it or not.
A wholesome water commercial, bottled water, and that's showing the pure natural sources of water. No, 90% pure.
New and improved, 90%
90%
pure.
Natural, yeah.
Yeah.
Set in Croatia in 2037 in a future where they're running out of water. Ran out of water, past tense.
Might have a little bit of a political bias on this one.
A little bit.
Yeah, the year is 2037. Europe is in shambles. The owner of the last well with natural clean water lives in Croatia. After one of his sales of clean drinking water ends in a bloodbath, he becomes a substitute father and a husband. But when the well dries out, he makes one last trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this one a lot.
Yeah, really well done. Yeah.
It's a good story, good world building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Low-key sci-fi.
And then at the end they have a bunch of stuff about how, everybody's owning the water and we're going to have a water shortage, and it got very political toward the end.
It did, kind of.
I think they would have done just
News
fine
footage.
with the fake commercial in the beginning. They didn't need all the...
Or another fake commercial at the end.
Yeah. It got a little too political there right at the very end.
But very good.
Yeah, I did like it. Yeah.
Very well done. Yeah. Desperation. What do you do to survive? Well, whatever you got to sometimes. Yeah.
Sort of Mad Maxy, but not quite. Along those lines, though.
Yeah. And they had enough tech thrown in where you could tell it was
definitely
not the present.
futuristic. Yeah.
It was neat. I mean, a country house, farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But just enough tech to give it that sci-fi.
What would a farmhouse be like in 20 years? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Samuel's Got a Sweet Tooth, 5 minutes long. An alcoholic mother with an explosive temper contends with her young son's persistent penchant for late-night bowls of ice cream. Samuel's Got a Sweet Tooth is a compact, first-person narrative of woes and regrets, as bittersweet as they are haunting. I think this may have been my least favorite of the entire day.
This one kind of got me in the feels. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it may be the grimmest.
It's a child abuse story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More, I would not say entertaining.
Yeah. More of a cautionary tale than entertainment.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But well done. Yeah.
Swipe, 6 minutes long. A girl finds out that she has a match on a dating app with a stranger,
Lucky her.
despite swiping him to the left moments ago. She starts to fear that the man is dangerously close to her.
Keeps popping up as a match on her phone.
And every one of his little profile pictures is like
his
right
profile,
where she is.
His profile picture keeps changing.
Yeah. That doesn't end well either.
Creepy and really well done. Yeah.
Next up, 11 minutes long, The Growling. On the way to his date's house, a paranoid young man is attacked by a vicious beast, interrupting their hopes of a romantic evening. She is the daughter of a veterinarian, and she has taken care of some animals.
Yeah.
She's popular with the animals. The animals seem to like her.
Especially her dog. Her very favorite dog.
That ain't no dog.
Her little terrier dog.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, monstrous. This one's a monster movie.
It's a monster, but it's funny, too.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have The Siren, 1 minute long. A short of one little detail. Her Airbnb stay was perfect. Okay, I take it back. This is my least favorite.
Okay.
It's like 1 minute long. She goes up into the attic and there's something up there at the end.
Yeah. Very quick.
Very nothing.
Very quick. Very to the point.
There's some very minor special effect with the creature, I guess, there at the end.
Yeah, it was a monster.
Did we see the monster? Or was it just a shadow?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then Mater. 13 minutes long. A godly woman does everything she can to save her dying mother.
And my summary, my ending note on this
now, first of all, this was glitched because there should have been subtitles and there weren't. So you kind of got to read between the lines.
That probably would have helped.
It would have helped.
Yeah. But what in the Druid Catholic weirdness is this? Yeah. I don't know what it meant. I don't know.
The woman, she's there, and her sick mother is upstairs. She goes out in the woods, and some mysterious person, gives her a can of dried tea. She goes home and makes the tea, gives it to her mother, who apparently chokes to death. We don't see that's all off screen.
Or is it poison tea?
Or it's poison.
And this is what she wanted, to kill her. To kill the some sick person she's tired of, had enough of and wants to be rid of.
So then she runs out into the woods in panic or for help or something, and these demon things come and get her.
Yeah.
Of course, they're all speaking French, I assume. It looked kind of French to me.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, this is a fault of the show. I'm sure that the real thing had subtitles. It looked really good. The visuals were very nice. It all looked very good. Nice budget.
And she was very well dressed.
And the creatures look good, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we can't really comment too much on the story, so I'm going to give this like a 7 out of 10. It probably was good.
Mm-hmm.
And in our last two, Black 7, we have Scenario, 16 minutes long. After a mysterious introduction to the story by a fisherman, a woman meets what appears to be an alien in the middle of the night and decides to help him, taking him to a cabin in the woods. The atmosphere is enigmatic and ambiguous, but somehow the two characters start trusting each other. As the threat of a gunshot breaks into the storyline, the two reveal themselves as very aware of the threatening surroundings as they start running away, not only from the imminent danger, but from the story itself. And this was long.
It was hard to understand.
Yeah.
But I think it was like a story within a story within a story.
It's like they hired two actors.
Yeah.
You pretend to be an alien, you pretend to be a woman in the field,
and
you help out,
naked
they give a plot.
He's naked without any kind of makeup or anything, but the newscasts are saying, beware of this creature, is hideous, and we have no idea what it's capable of, and we're about to, and we've sent this scientist to investigate, and then she pulls up, and he's naked in the street.
Picture a reality show that has got two actors, and they change the script up halfway through, and the two actors have to...
And they're being on film.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere watching them. Yeah, it was weird.
I didn't like it. I didn't understand it completely.
I almost wish I'm kind of hoping this is one that's available online, because I'd like to see it again. Yeah. It
did make a lot of sense. It was at the very end of the show.
The guy playing the alien partway through cracks, smashes one of the cameras.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
I can't, this is insane. I can't do this anymore. But then that's really part of the show, too. Him doing that. So, it's like a thing with
these two people were supposed to be actors, but they weren't quite actors, and they weren't quite real. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a little too confusing for me. I didn't like it.
A little bit, but yeah, it makes you think about what's going on here.
Yeah. And lastly, we have Verso, 4 minutes. A short film about the dangers of a resentful mind following a horrific night at an artist mixer and the desire for revenge.
I was hoping for a strong finish, and I thought this was one.
It was good.
It's only 4 minutes long.
Basically, a guy goes to a bar and gets poisoned. That's the movie.
But
except it all runs in reverse. And you see him beating on the window with a bloody mouth. He's about to die, and then we go back to what happened.
A lot of stuff happens. There's a lot of visual.
It's slowed down scene in reverse.
Backwards in slow motion. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, really effective.
You watch it forwards, there's probably not a lot to it. But in reverse...
Forwards at normal speed.
It's like, what happened? Why did he do that? Why did he do that? And you see what happens. Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
And it won an award also.
Yeah, it did, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so of the last group, I'd say the best one, the last Block 6 and 7, is The Last Well. Mm-hmm. And the worst one would be either Samuel's Got a Sweet Tooth or The Siren.
I'd go with The Siren.
Yeah, there's just not much to that one. Although I did not care for Scenario too much either.
Well, I maybe we would have liked Mater more if there were subtitles too.
I'll give that one the benefit of the doubt. It did look really good, and I suspect we would have liked it if it had had words.
Yeah, I think I liked Scenario, but I wish I could see it again.
Think you liked it?
Yeah, I wish I could see it again to know whether I like it or not.
There was problems with those too.
Yeah.
Okay, so of the entire 41 shorts, which one or two did you like best?
I was especially fond of that long science fiction one. The Utopian City, the name of which I'm blanking out on. The Lifematch.
Yeah, that is it. Lifematch.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. The Monkey Paw. Mm-hmm. We got a Monkey Paw.
Yeah,
that was right up there.
Okay, I like the Monkey's Paw best.
And I like
La
the
Llorona,
first one.
Second one.
The very first one.
And Lifematch was also very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The very first one, Rebuild?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was fine, but I kind of lost that one as things went on.
Yeah, La Llorona, that was right up there as one of the best. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, we're kind of in agreement.
41
pretty close in agreement on
and we're
them.
pretty agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
We both list our top 5. They have different order, but I bet they'd all be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So
going again next year?
Flint Film Fright Fest. If you're in the area, make it next year.
Yeah, we'll see you next year in Mott Community College.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's our show. Thanks for joining us. Stop in during the week at horrorguys.com for news and horror updates, to comment on this podcast, or to contact us. Now you got to write reviews for all 41 of these.
Nope.
They will go on our spreadsheet. If you go to the horror review listings up at the top of the website, they will be in there.
We'll give a 1 through 10 rating. Yeah.
And let's not forget, next week we have more of our family-friendly Halloween special, where we watch The Mad Monster Party from 1967, Hocus Pocus from 1993, Monster Squad from 87, and Curse of the Were-Rabbit from 2005. And after that, we'll be into November, when we're going to do something completely different.
There's more holidays coming up, you know.
There are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Okay, so I'm Brian.
I'm Kevin.
And we'll see you next week.
See ya.